Side-by-side comparison of the equity accumulator program and the conventional program. Just looking at where we're at now. We're 1 year into this. The balance on the equity accumulator is down to $184,000. The balance on the conventional loan, it would have taken us 5 years to get to the $184,000. At the 1 year mark, we would have still owed $197,000 on this mortgage. The equity accumulator, we're on path to pay this loan off in 10.4 years, only pay back to the bank $70,000 in interest versus 30 years and $231,000 in interest. So our total savings, in other words, the interest savings that we're on path to save here, is $167,000. Now, if you've been to one of our seminars or you're speaking to one of our agents that might have provided you this information, the $167,000, that's what we call a wealth transfer or an unintentional wealth transfer. This is money that you're transferring, wealth of yours, you're transferring to the lender. So if we can show you how to recapture some of that $167,000 and build that back into your retirement plan, we believe it will benefit you greatly. So let's look at the money path, and let's just kind of look and see the mechanics of this product and what makes it work. What habits are you going to have to change? Well, first off, again, we said we're going to turn your HELOC, that home equity line of credit, into your primary checking account. So how are you going to do that? Well, you're going to deposit your income, as you see here, into your checking account, and as your income goes into the checking account, you're going to move it over into your home equity line of credit. From the home equity line of credit, you're going to pay your bills. Now, what determines a lump sum? How do we know when it's time to make that lump sum payment? Well, as you'll see here, again, we're going to start off, we have the checking account, the home equity line of credit. Do you see these lines right here? This is where the program is working. It's going to be working between these two lines here. In other words, if the balance gets up here and it starts to hit this line up here, then it's going to wait. In other words, right there is where it wants to be after we've made a lump sum payment. If you get down to the bottom line, is where it's going to be asking you to make a lump sum payment. So in other words, if we get above this line, then we're borrowing too much money and it's going to cost us too much interest to use it. If we get below this line down here, then the balance is getting too low and we're not having as large of an impact on the debt as we should have. So what's going to happen is each month as income comes in, you're going to move it over to the line of credit. That's going to help pay the line of credit down. As you notice here, it didn't get paid down quite enough. It didn't get down to that level where it's time to make a funds transfer. So you have some more income come in, push the income over to the line of credit, and now you see now we're down to that optimal lump sum level. Okay, so now the program is going to come up and say, oh, time to make that lump sum payment. It's going to direct you to do that. It's going to tell you exactly how much to pay and to which debt you should send it to. In this case here, you notice we have a few debts listed. And in this particular case, it's going to come down, it's going to pick out the motorcycle and say, you should send the money to the motorcycle. Now the program will always give you a suggested, what we call a debt roll down. The program, when you enter in your different liabilities into the software, it will put them in an order that it feels optimal for you paying them off. Now, just for those of you who do not have a home equity line of credit, if you want to use the product using a savings account or a savings line, you can do that. Now, I will tell you, it's not as optimal as using a home equity line of credit. It will not work as well, but it will work. So if you're really serious about getting rid of your debt and paying down your mortgage or other debts, if you have some discipline, you can use this with a savings line. What you're going to see here is a very similar process. Is you're going to put your money into your checking account. You're going to move that over into your savings line or your savings account. And then you're going to pay your bills when they come due. Of course, the bills will come out of the checking account because you can't pay them from the savings line. And then the same thing, how does it know when you need lump sum payments? Well, you're depositing that money from your checking account. Okay, you have a high reserve line. What the reserve line is how much money do you need to keep in your checking account at all times. And then you're going to move money over into your savings line. Now, the good thing about moving it into the savings account, if you move it over in there and let it sit there, it's going to start to accumulate interest. Hopefully, the savings account you have has a greater rate of return as far as the interest the bank's paying you than your checking account. Same thing, you keep depositing the money into your checking account, moving that over into the savings account. And as that money builds up, and what's happening is you're going to deposit your money into the savings account and leave it there until you have to pay your bills. When you need to pay your bills, you're going to pay them. But the money that's left over, your discretionary income that's left over, is going to start to build up in that savings account. And once it builds up to a particular level, as you see here, is where the program is going to have you make that lump sum payment. Once again, the program is going to direct you which debt to pay off and in what order to pay them off. And so you can see using a home equity line of credit will work more efficiently, and the reason is because the home equity line of credit, you can leverage it. You can borrow from the home equity line of credit and use your income to cancel out the most of the interest charges, which is what we demonstrated previously. But if you're really serious and you have some discipline and you want to get rid of them, this product will work here, and it will help you just using a checking account and a savings account. That concludes our demonstration here. I hope this has helped you to better understand and get a more thorough view of how the equity accumulator works. If you have any questions, please just go back to the client or individual who provides you with this video and this information and ask any questions you might have of them. They should be able to demonstrate and help you with a free analysis of your particular situation and help you to see how the equity accumulator will work for you. Thank you very much.